What's up, guys? We're gonna BroBeats, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to make good melodies using your ear. So this is part 2. If you didn't see part 1, I would suggest you go watch that so you at least know the techniques. So we just made a real simple melody, nothing good, but here it is. Okay, no music theory, just your ear, few techniques, and then we added some effects. All right, so we're gonna use the exact same sounds, all of the same presets, everything for our next melody. So let's just go here. We're gonna use this. All right, so for this, you can pick 1 to 2 notes. You can just pick 1 note, right? And then you can start using the technique from here if you want to. So if you want it, you can just go, pretty much just make a note, create a little pattern, and just go down. So we'll just do this. I actually like these, so we'll just use them. So what we're gonna do is take this, copy it, pull it up or pull it down. Now the reason you do it up or down, if any of you have seen my videos before, you notice a lot of times I go, all right, pull that note, and then I'll say like pull it up an octave a lot, right? That's because if it works down here, it works up there, okay? Because they're all the same notes. So you're limited. You only got about 12 notes to use, which is good because, you know, now you have formulas when you have a limitation, right? So now you can just pop in notes, and then whatever works up here will work down here, just a short form, or not short form, short form. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm actually pull this back in so you can visually see what's happening, and we'll change the color to like orange. So all we need to do is just find the notes that sound good in here. Now obviously when you play them back to back, they sound terrible, but all you need to do is just pick a note. So we'll just start at A sharp, just put it right here. And if you like something like that or something dark, you can use it, okay? Don't feel like it needs to be melodic. And actually, let me make this a little bit larger. It's kind of probably hard to see. So that B doesn't sound bad, but it's not a note I want to use. So I'm gonna keep note in my head. Okay, that's a note I can use later, right? So we're kind of unlocking a scale, right? I kind of like that one. I like that one. Oops. Like that one. Oops. Okay, I like that note. So now we can just arrange it. So I'm gonna do something on the grid. So on the grid would be like this, like every beat kind of, right? Off the grid, we kind of off beat, so it'd be like this. And they're both fine, but we do have halftime, and halftime usually works on the bar, right? So you have to change this if you wanted to get those off beats, but usually bar is where people use. So if you want it to work, you would have to put it on the beat. So I'm gonna make sure these are on the beat so we won't run into issues later. And we could do like a little thing like this. Delete this. Very simple. So now what we're gonna do is do the lower part. Now this isn't gonna be our bass because we want to make a full melody, right? So we're gonna copy this and literally pull it down, and then shift right to pull it over. Now I'm gonna put it right before this E, make it a little bit smaller, because it's gonna create bounce, right? This little spot is gonna create a little bounce, this right, just like if you had a clap here and then like a little rim or something, as you can see. And then we're gonna use our technique again. Right, probably like right here would be nice. I like that. Boom, easy. All right, so I like that. I think that's cool. So we can start doing the bass line. So I'm gonna do a little trick for you. So we're gonna copy this, paste it over here. Now this is a placeholder for now. This is just so we can get our bass line. And what is all that? Oh, okay. I don't know. Just probably a glitch. So from here, it's a little different because remember, we already used this, right? Now, if you want to find a bass line, you could do this again. Just pull it down. Okay. And then the reason why I'm not copying all of these is because for a bass line, it's usually just 1 note. So all we have to do is just to me, this note F sharp sounds the best at this point, so I'm gonna use that. And then real quick, I'm gonna show you kind of the bass line formula, at least for type beats. If you're using like a pop beat or something, it'll be completely on the grid, right? But if you're doing like, I don't know, a rap beat or any type beat, it'll be something like this. And there's underlying rhythms, but this is pretty much what it'll be. So I'll make these, I'll mute them, and we'll just pull them down. And actually, I'm gonna change the color. So let's do like something like this. And then I'm gonna start it from like right here, so we won't waste time. I like that E. I'm gonna move that over. That didn't sound bad. Okay, I know what we're gonna do here. Okay, so we're gonna take this C. We're gonna do the same pattern, but we're gonna use these notes because I like these together. Boom. And then remember, we still have that underlying pattern. Oops. Right? They all kind of line up, as you can see. Okay, and I know a lot of you probably already knew that, but you know. Okay, so now we just gotta modify this and it's pretty much good. Let's listen to it. And these need to be, all right, so now we're gonna go ahead and just make modifications to this. So let me listen. And then from this point, you got the formula already. You just got to kind of move stuff around. I'm gonna move this over here, and I want this kind of trickle down like so. So I'm gonna move these back, and then we'll add an in-between note like right here. Okay, I like that actually. Let's maybe. And I'm gonna pull these back a little bit. And then let's add like a little double note in here. Okay, I kind of like that. What I'm gonna do now is, let's see. I'm gonna move this bass line down just in case to create some room. And then what we could do is maybe, let's see, let's take this E. And then from here, you're not really even using the formula anymore because you already made the melody. It's just kind of throwing notes in that you like. I'm gonna do something like this. And then we're gonna take, remember we had this A to G sharp. We're gonna take this and use this as kind of like a little bit end part for it. Let's do something like this. Maybe pull that down. And then I'll pull this up. Then come back down. See how that sounds? And that is pretty much our melody. I know we took a while here, but remember, I'm trying to make sure, you know, most of you should be trying to make your own melody as you do this because that's the best way you could learn. But if not, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's why I'm going slow with it. So this is the hardest part of the video. Everything else will be completely easy. We're just gonna copy this to this one just to add some weight to it. Okay, so just add a little bit of atmosphere. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next sound. Looking for a deeper learning experience? Check out our courses over at Producer Portal. And if you're new to producing, the Ultimate Beginner course is perfect for getting you up to speed with the rest of us. Now let's jump back into the video. Now we're gonna go a little bit faster with these other melodies here. So we'll just go ahead and do this one. So it's like a lead. And with these sounds, at this point, you don't want to make a new melody. You want to blend it into what you already have. So we're gonna cheat. So we'll take this. And this is a cheat code. You don't need to do this. This is just a cheat code. And I'm gonna show you why. We're gonna pull this bass note up. And then all we're gonna do is do this. And then remember this, and there's no like necessarily formula here. It's just, if you look in the background, these are ghost notes. To turn those on, go to view and then go to ghost channel. So Alt V is the shortcut. But remember, we use this for our main sound. Now it's coming full circle. So we're gonna take this note, remember, pull it up, and then now we got a little melody we can mess with. And obviously we need to fix it. I'm gonna add a little wobble in there too. And if you're in Serum and you want to get a sound like this, because I haven't released this bank, if you look right here in the corner, it's mono and legato is what you want to have on to get that kind of sound effect. I kind of want it to kind of speed off a little bit like this. Let me see. Maybe a little bit back. And honestly, let me see. Nah, I kind of like it lower. I'm gonna keep it just like that. And we'll just go ahead and move on to our next sounds here, because it's real simple, right? And this sound here, it's a little key. Again, just go with whatever you think is sounding good. So we'll just play around. I should pull this up, maybe. I kind of like more emotional type of. And I'm gonna cheat and use the same note, but at a different octave. All right, and then we just throw in our bass line. And remember, we still need to add effects on top. Okay, let's see. And I'm actually shorten some of these up a little bit. I feel like they don't need to be super long. Let's stop like right there. And usually I like to stop my synth basses. I guess we could, it doesn't matter. We'll just leave it the same color. I like to stop my synth basses right before the next one. And now we have our finished melody. Now the cool thing about this is if you take your time, okay, it should sound good if you reverse it or halftime it. So we'll just kind of use the same halftime effects. Okay, so here it is. So this is at just +2. Okay, and then we got our little jitter at 0, and then everything else you can copy. It's the same thing from the last video. We'll just listen to this. Okay, I think that'll be really nice for a beat. So let's go ahead and make a little beat with this. And obviously, since we used the pitch shifter, we'll need to change up our 808. Well, not the 808, but the, you know, the notes as far as the bass line. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our low end. So that is our kick and our sub. So let's make sure these are cut. Okay. Well, the kick we don't want to cut. Well, for me, I don't like to cut my kick because I like to double them just to add a little bit more thump. So this is our melody. And we'll clean up and EQ stuff, but for right now, we just want to find this bass line. So remember, let me see, this is +2. So you could take this bass line and copy it if you want to, but I want to keep using my ear. Matter of fact, you know what? We're not. Let's keep it consistent. Let's just keep it consistent here, okay? All right, so we'll use the same thing, except remember 1, 2, because for the pitch shifter, it's +2. So you need to make sure the bass is like that. And then we'll just add these in this bass, like the bass areas, I guess. And then I'm gonna actually pull this one up an octave, create some smoothness. So see how this sounds so far. Well, it's way too low. Okay, I actually really like that. very, very smooth. And we just let this one just kind of fade out. Okay. I want this one a little closer. I'm gonna let this one a little bit smoother. I like that. Okay, perfect. I like that. So literally how I want it to sound in my head. So now all we gotta do is copy this. And you don't have to do this. This is just my own preference. Hold Control, or I don't know, Command A, whatever if you're on Mac, and then Alt K. Okay, and then you'll get your drums like this. Or not your drums, your kick. And I'll double them. And usually the one at the bottom, I'll just pull down a bit, and then we can pull all of them up. And you can see how hard the kick hits. So yeah, we can add little extra kicks in there if you want to. You don't have to do this necessarily. So let me see what that sounds like. Ooh, okay, I actually like that. So let's see. And I do think the kick is hitting a little too hard, I'll be honest. And then before we move on, we'll just adjust this. I don't want to strip the melody of its life too much, so I'm gonna just leave it like that. All right, so that is the low end. We're gonna go ahead and finish this up with the drums. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish the beat. Now I actually like this melody, so I do not want to ruin the end for myself, because I'll probably want to work on it a little bit more. But I went ahead and just turned off our sub. Now the reason I did that is because I reverted the melody back, so it sounded like this before with all the effects on it. I'll probably brighten up some of that. And then I just turned it off because I don't want to ruin the end, right? So I'm gonna do the drums with the bare bones melody and the original bass line, which doesn't sound bad at all, right? I like that kind of slow, smooth version though. So yeah, from here, you know, if you want to, let's see, we could just try to pop in some stuff. And let's make sure we get this. And I'm gonna turn up that one rim just so it stands out a little bit more, since it's alone and it doesn't have that layering. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, and then now our snare, I kind of want to like do something with the snare here. So like maybe do like a, and then for the snare, we'll do something like this. Just kind of play around with it a little bit. All right, and then we can continue this. Forgot to put this back in. And I'm trying to take into account for the slow-mo. So I'm not trying to, because it's smooth, right? Like the melody is smooth with the effects. So I don't want to create like some super trap drums, right? So I just want to try to keep it simple, but use everything we have here. I kind of like that. Let's see. I need to flip my stuff because The original FL, I think the lighter color is here, so it's kind of messing me up because I keep putting it in the wrong spot. And then let's just keep adding. Let's see. And then we'll just make this a little bit louder. And we'll just repeat this. Let me see if we can offset it a little bit though. And if you want to, you can add some panning and stuff like that if you want. Like, I'll probably do like panning here because it's like it's too much, you can't really hear it. Okay, that's the drums, real simple. So now we revert it, and then we could clean it up. I'll probably do it after because we already finished the melody. That was the whole point of the video. But yeah, mute that. I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna take this kick out because I feel like it's so many different rhythms you can go with, and that's what I'll probably work on it off after, just to kind of play around with variations of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll just play it one more time. Probably could do a little mixing for sure, like 100%. But I think this is fine. We'll just turn this down a little bit because I do feel like the kick is hitting a little too hard. And real quick before we end, I'll just insert this in the video. I do want to show you that stuff like this, like that we made today, still sounds good in reverse as well. So you could strip the drums and take the melody and make a completely new beat with it. So it's just something else you could do. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.